Hello my lovelies, it is time for round 37 of Have I Read It? So stay tuned. Hi, hello, welcome. If you are new here, Have I Read It is one of my multiple ways of selecting my TBR for the month, except in this case, you get to help select my TBR, or part of it anyway. So the way this works is I go through and I react to one of my past hauls that are like over 3 years ago. And I tell you if I've read the book, if I haven't read the book, or if I've unhauled the book. And out of the books that I put in my stack for haven't read, you get to vote on which book or books I will be adding to my TBR. You can vote for as many books as you like. There's no limit on how many books you can vote for. However, there is a limit on how many I will select. So if I have 10 or less in my pile, then I will only take the number 1 voted book. If I have 11 to 20, I will take the top 2 voted books, and so on and so on. So today I'm going to be reacting to my massive book haul for September 2018. This was posted on October 13th of 2018. I can't tell how many books it is, but it looks like a lot. Like, it looks like 4 big stacks. I'm nervous. I will be doing 2 Have I Read It's this month. This one, and then the next one I think is going to be a small one. I'm not entirely sure about that, but I think it's going to be a small one, so we'll see how that one goes. But I need to connect my Bluetooth and pull up the video, and we shall get started. Okay, I've got my video pulled up. I've got my Bluetooth earbuds connected. Oh my goodness, this is such a big stack, or several big stacks of books. So I'm like, yeah, I'm nervous. I really hope I've read a lot of these. All right, let's get started. Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome to my channel. Today I have a massive book haul of 67 books to show you. So stay tuned. 67 books. Oh my goodness. So as you can see, I have an insane amount of books here to show you. 67 books I've accumulated since my last regular haul video. I so went overboard. So I'm gonna make these descriptions as short and quick as I possibly can with still telling you about them. Just because there are so many and, well, I only have so much time. So let's just get right into it. Okay, so these books all came from subscription boxes, from a giveaway I won, from orders I placed on thriftbooks.com, bookdepository.com, amazon.com, local bookstores, and I think that's it. Oh, no, there was also from the Decatur Book Festival as well. So there's a lot of books here to show you. I've tried to separate them out a little bit, so I can show you all the subscription box books first, and then so on and so on. As far as all of the subscription box books, I can't exactly remember which books came in which box at this point, but it's okay. All right, the first book we have here is My Plain Jane by the Lady Janies, Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton, and Jody Meadows. And this is... Okay, I think that might be the one that I have read. No, I read My Lady Jane, not My Plain Jane. Let me see. Okay, My Plain Jane is book 2 in the Lady Janies. So I have read the first one, absolutely loved it. So let me go grab My Plain Jane. I've actually even pre-ordered the newest one that's coming out. I think it's My Imaginary Jane. Anyway, these follow different Janes in history, and it's sort of a retelling. It's definitely this says, Jane, best friends with a ghost, has endured years of hardship and misery and is ready to embark on a new life as a governess at Thornfield Hall. She's rather poor, she's rather plain, also she has terrible taste in men. Charlotte, Just try to tell her no, is an aspiring novelist. Yes, she's that Charlotte. And she's determined to capture her friend Jane's story, even if it means worming her way into the most epic ghost hunt this side of Wuthering Heights. Alexander, ghost hunter extraordinaire, is an agent of the Society for the Relocation of Wayward Spirits. He's about to discover something very disturbing going on at a little place called Thornfield. Reader, there will be a murder, mayhem, conspiracy, and of course, romance. Prepare for an adventure of gothic proportions in which all is not as it seems, and a certain gentleman, Mr. Rochester, is hiding more than skeletons in his closet. And the first one was so much fun, so I really do look forward to getting around to reading this. So if you want me to read this, vote My Plain Jane. All right, let me get back to the video here. And we'll see what's next. Okay, the next book is Mirage by Samaya Dodd. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I've read that one or not. Let me look. Okay, I have not read it, so let me go grab that. Let's see. This little thing here on the back says, "The crown of Daya has been stripped from me. My face changed, my body broken. But I was not a slave and I was not a spare. I was my mother's daughter and I would survive and endure. I would find my way back home." All right. So if you want me to read this, vote Mirage. All right. Also, that one seems like it's a young adult sci-fi fantasy. All right, next up. Next up is Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. I think I've read Dance of Thieves. Hold on. Yes, I have read that. I gave it 4 stars. So yay, I got one to mark red. Woohoo! I love when I get one pretty early on because usually there's not a lot. All right, next up. Okay, next up is Grace and Fury by Tracy Banghart. I have not read that. Let me go grab that. Let's see. Here we go. I think I remember that has like, you either get chosen to be a Grace or chosen to be a Fury, and let's see. Serena was trained her whole life to become a Grace, someone to stand by the heir to the throne as a shining, subjugated example of the perfect woman. It's her chance to secure a better life for her family and to keep her headstrong and rebellious younger sister, Naomi, out of trouble. But when Naomi catches the heir's eye instead, Serena is the one who takes the fall for the dangerous secret her sister's been hiding. Okay. So that's what this is about. If you want me to read this, vote Grace and Fury. All right, next up. Okay, next up is The Legend of Greg, an epic series of failures by Chris Rylander. I have not read this one. I'm not sure if I've unhauled it or not, so I have to go look at my shelf. Hold on. Okay, here it is. This is middle grade. This came in one of my Outcrate Junior boxes. Let's see. The return of magic calls for a new kind of hero. Too bad his destiny can only lead to disaster. Sounds like it's going to be fun and cute. So if you want me to read this, vote The Legend of Greg. All right, next up. Okay, next up is Night Books by J.A. White. I have read Night Books and I really enjoyed that. Next. Next up is The Walking Dead, the official cookbook and survival guide, written by Lauren Wilson. I think I actually unhauled that one. So next up. Okay, next up is The Great American Whatever by Tim Federle. I have read that. I think I DNF'd it, or I finished it and like rated it really low. I wasn't the biggest fan. And I have unhauled that. Next up. That book actually came in the 2nd Star book subscription box, and this came with it. It was Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. I have read Frankenstein and really enjoyed that. Next. Also from a 2nd Star book subscription box, we had Scream All Night by Derek Millman. That is actually on my August TBR already, so I don't know what to mark for that. Well, at this point in time, I haven't read it, but I'm supposed to be reading it by the end of the month. So I don't want to put it on my vote for because I'm supposed to be reading it. So maybe I'll just mark it as read for now. Okay. Next up. Okay, also in one of the Second Star Books subscription boxes, we got Not Even Bones by Rebecca Schaefer. I don't think that I have read that. Let me double check. No, it doesn't look like I have. So let me go grab that. Okay, here we go. So what I know about this is our main character, Nita, her mother goes out and like kills people and brings them back, and Nita like dissects them and sells their body parts on the black market or something like that. But then her mom brings home a live specimen. That's all I really know about this. It does sound quite interesting. I have the second book in this series as well. So if you want me to read this, vote Not Even Bones. All right, get back to the video here. Next up is Seafire by Natalie C. Parker. I don't think I've read Seafire. Let me double check. Okay, I don't know if that cut out before I told you, but I have not read that. Here it is. I don't remember anything at all about this. Let's see. The first in a heart-stopping trilogy that recalls the undeniable feminine power of Wonder Woman and the powder keg action of Mad Max Fury Road. Seafire follows the captain of an all-female ship intent on taking down a vicious warlord's powerful fleet. Okay. So, female pirates, I guess. So if you want me to read this, vote Seafire. All right. What do we have next? Okay, so this next book is a book that I won from a giveaway hosted by Subscription Box Addict, and I'll put her link down below. She has a monthly giveaway, and I was very fortunate to win a Whimsify box that she had gotten an extra of. So I got Furyborn, the Imperium Trilogy Book 1 by Claire Legrand. Okay, so funny thing, Subscription Box Addict, that is not the name of her channel anymore if y'all don't know. That is Cece from Cece's Reading Journey, the one that I do the mid-month reading sprints with and on my channel, and end-of-month reading sprints on her channel. Yeah, so I won this giveaway from her. I have not read Furyborn, but I have heard really good things about it, so let me go grab that. Okay, this says, the gate will fall. You will know this time by the rise of two human queens, one of blood and one of light. Two queens will rise. They will carry the power of the seven. They will carry your fate in their hands. So if you want me to read this, vote Furyborn. All right, next up. Okay, these next books are books that I purchased from Books A Million. They are Deep Blue, Rogue Wave, and Dark Tide, all by Jennifer Donnelly. Okay, I haven't read any of those. Let me go grab the first one, which is called Deep Blue. Hold on. Okay, I actually have the fourth book in this series too. I got it from my friend Kaylani. Mermaids. Let's see. Rich with magic and mythology, adventure and danger, romance and friendship, and themes both classic and contemporary, Deep Blue, Book 1 of the Waterfire Saga, is an epic tale of as expansive, mysterious, and beguiling as the sea itself. So if you want me to read this, vote Deep Blue. Alright, next up. Okay, so these next books are books that I got from McKay's Used Bookstore here in Chattanooga. And the first one is Ink by Alice Broadway. I have read Ink and really, really like that. Plus that book is stunning. Next. The next book is Before the Devil Breaks You by Libba Bray. I have read Before the Devil Breaks You. Yay! Next. Okay, well that's one stack down, 3 more stacks to go. Okay, these next books are books that I purchased from the Decatur Book Festival. So the first one is Kenny and the Dragon by Tony Ditterlitzy. Okay, I read that. It was really cute, but it is currently in my unhaul pile. So that one's, I'm just gonna mark that as unhauled. That one's gonna go away. Next. Okay, next up is the trilogy of The Other Side Tales. We have The Smoke Riders, The Tears of Time, and Forged in Flame. And these are by S.W. Heaton III. I have not read those. Let me go grab the first one. Those are also self-published. Okay, book 1 is The Smoke Riders. This says, Addie is a chatterbox who can't stay out of trouble. Her mom works late. Her dad has been missing for years. When a pack of boys from her class corners her in an alley, words won't save her. A wicked drop into a dumpster turns into Addie's big disappearing act as she careens shoeless and alone into a world of myth and violence called Other Side. Within mere moments, a vicious mogger picks up her scent and will stop at nothing to catch its prey. While Addie's on the run, she hears rumors about an evil group from the north raiding villages and whispering in the dark. They call themselves the Smoke Riders. Addie and the new friends she gains on her journey must find a way to shake the relentless smogger and warn the old king about the Smoke Riders before the South is lost forever. Maybe, Addie thinks, she can find her father in this beautifully broken world, but Other Side has a funny way of granting wishes. Fall into a brand new myth. And I thought this sounded really, really interesting, and it very much gave me like a little bit of a twisted Alice in Wonderland kind of vibe, and y'all know I'm down for that. And it was self-published, and I thought, you know, I wanted to support the author, and then I never ended up reading the books, but I did buy all of them. And I was just looking on Goodreads. This has 10 ratings. Only 10 ratings. However, it's got a 4.4. So if you want me to read this about the Smoke Riders. Ooh, we are up to 9 books on this stack here. I have a feeling I'm going to be reading a couple from this video. Alright, next up. Okay, these next 4 books are part of the Keepers of the Essence series. So we have Twillin's Redeemer, Nature's Lady. And these are all by Rebecca Amon. So there's the first book. Savior of Randor, Master of Air. Phoenicia's Hope, Water's Maiden. And Legend of Ashnir, Creature of Darkness. I have not read any of those. Let me go and get the first one. Okay, this is another self-published series that I purchased the entire series when I was at the Decatur Book Festival from the author. I think I've got them all signed, I do believe. Yes, I did get them signed. I even got some bookmarks to go along with it. This, it only has 5 ratings on Goodreads. And it's got a 3.8. Let's see, this says, at birth, she was abandoned. At 16, she was found. As an elf, she discovered her power, and as Keem's chosen, she has to save her world. Found and raised by a kind farmer, Alernoa, an elfin princess, grew up as Geneva, a peasant girl raised in a humble cabin on a small island. When Frelati, a mysterious elf, arrives at their farm, he reveals her unknown past, illuminates the present chaos in their world, and gives her an ultimatum. How was she supposed to know that her parents had been captured by Fizam and imprisoned in the dungeons of Azul? Yet she was supposed to free them before Fizam took complete control over the land of Twillin and brought everything under his evil rule. That's what Frelati expects, and he intends to see it happen because he was sent by the king and queen to find her and will not let them down. Before they can reach Azul, however, they must make a treacherous journey from the Pixie Islands to the Dwarf Undergrounds, across the nomad desert of Suda and through the forests of the Shapeshifters. Fizam's soldiers await them at every turn, but Geneva and Frelati Also find friends on their path, friends that are ready to see Vazam's reign come to an end. But how can a small, undisciplined group outwit Vazam's forces and overthrow his reign? All hope rests on Alarnoa. She is Twinland's redeemer, nature's lady. All right. So if you want me to read this, let's just say nature's lady, because I think a lot of people would probably misspell Twinland's redeemer. So yeah, nature's lady, if you want me to read this. All right. Also, sorry if y'all hear some chomping in the background. Einstein has a bone. All right, next up. Okay, these next books are books that I bought in the little bookshop there in Decatur called Little Shop of Stories. It was super cute. So the first one here is a book for Xander that he picked out. It's Fortnite, the Ultimate Unauthorized Guide by Grant Turner. I unhauled this. I gave it to Xander. I'm pretty sure he unhauled it too, but I'm just gonna mark it as unhauled. Next. Next was something that I was so excited to find. I didn't know this existed, but it's a graphic novel of Jem and the Holograms. I have read that graphic novel of Jem and the Holograms. Freaking love it. Next. Next is Overwatch Anthology Volume 1. I'm marking this as unhauled. This is also for Xander. Next. These next two books are books that I ordered from bookdepository.com. The first one is City of Ghosts by Victoria Schwab. I have read that. Woo, I'm on a roll. I probably should not have said that. Next. Also, I ordered The Darkest Legacy by Alexandra Bracken. I have not read The Darkest Legacy. Let's see. I have started this series a few times and I can't remember how many books I've gotten through, but then I end up with other books on my TBR and then I don't continue the series. Let me see. Okay, so it looks like I've read books 1 and 2. I'm pretty sure I've read book 1 at least multiple times. I do very well remember book 1. I think, let me just look. Okay, I'm torn on whether I should reread Never Fade, which is book 2, because I don't really remember too much from it. I wonder if I could find like a spoilery synopsis. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. If by chance this is the book or books that gets voted, I'm going to be reading In the Afterlight, which I'll go get, but I'll probably go back and read like spoilery things for the first 2 books just to kind of refresh my memory, because I'm pretty sure I remember most of it, but I don't know. It's been a while. Okay, so this is book 3 in the Darkest Minds. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, the Darkest Minds series. The Darkest Legacy is actually book 4. Let's see. The Darkest Minds is about, there's this virus kind of thing that plagued the planet and it killed most of the children. However, the ones that survived ended up with like these special kind of abilities. And yeah, our main character, I think she's got the ability to like control minds or something like that. Anyway, if you want me to read this, vote In the Afterlight. Let me get back to the video. All right, next up. Okay, these next books are books that I ordered from thriftbooks.com. So the first 3 I have here are Burn for Burn, Fire with Fire, and Ashes to Ashes. And these are by Jenny Han and Saban Vivian. I have not read those. I think Burn for Burn is the first book. Yeah, so let me go grab that. Let's see. This says, big girls don't cry, they get even. All right. It says, no one can ever know what we're up to. What we do together lives and dies with us. Then I clear my throat because this is the most important part. And if we're going to do this, no one can bail halfway through. If you're in, you need to be in until the very end, until we all get what we want. If not, well, consider yourself fair game. Okay, so if you want me to read this, vote burn for burn. So at this point, I have to pick at least the top two. But I think we're not even halfway through. Or we're right around the halfway point, I think, in all these books. So then I may have to add a couple more books on. Next. And the last book from Thrift Books is Snow Like Ashes by Sarah Rosh. I haven't read that one either. Let me go grab it. Okay, here we go. This one says, a heartbroken girl, a fierce warrior, a hero in the making. Can Mira save a world she's never truly known? So if you want me to read this, vote Snow Like Ashes. Oh, this stack is getting very big. Next. Okay, so that's 2 stacks down. Still got 2 stacks to go. And these are all books that I ordered from Amazon. Some of them I ordered used, but not all of them. It's a lot of books from Amazon. I didn't even realize I had so many of them until I separated them all out like this. Okay, so the first 2 books I have here are the paperbacks of P.S. I Still Love You and Always and Forever Laura Jean by Jenny Han. I have read both of those. Yay! Next. Okay, next is Two Dark Reigns by Kendar Blake. I can't remember if I've read Two Dark Reigns. I know I've read The Queens of Finburn and Three Dark Crowns. Give me a second to look. Okay, I've also read One Dark Throne, but I have not read Two Dark Reigns. So let me go get that one. If I need to read this one, I will read spoilery things for at least One Dark Throne. I vaguely remember the things that happened in that. I'm pretty sure I remember, but I'll probably read a spoilery thing. All right, one second. Okay, sorry if the angle changed, but I had to switch out my battery while I was up. So I have Two Dark Reigns here. Let's see what I can tell you about this series. We have 3 sisters. They were all born to be queen. They were all raised apart from each other, and when they turned 16, they were to come together and pretty much battle it to the death for the throne. And they each have their own elemental kind of skill, and they focus, you know, the majority of their magic is on that, and they hone that in order to use to kill the other 2. Anyway, that's what this series is about. And yeah, if you want me to read this, vote Two Dark Reigns. I think maybe I'm going to start a second stack because I'm afraid if I keep piling that up, it's just going to fall. All right, let me get back to the video. Next up. Okay, next up we have Pretties and Extras by Scott Westerfeld. I have unhauled them both. Actually, yeah, I think in my disclaimer here, I pretty much said I read the first one and decided I didn't actually want to read these after all. So yeah, I unhauled that whole series. Next. Okay, next up is Unforgotten by Jessica Brody. I have not read that one. I think that's the second book. Hold on. Yes, that is the second book in the Unremembered series, and I have read Unremembered and really, really enjoyed it, and I've wanted to continue. I haven't been able to make it work into any of my prompts or anything, so let me go grab that. Okay, it took me a minute to find because I've actually had it out and not on my shelf because I wanted to read it, and I've just kind of moved it around the room. Here we go. This, as I said, is book 2 in the Unremembered series, and what can I tell you about that? Our main character, what's her name? Oh, Serafina, She wakes up and she doesn't remember anything about herself. She's in a hospital. Nobody knows where she came from. She was found in the wreckage from this plane, but she wasn't like on the plane's manifest or anything. And she doesn't know her name. The only thing she can think of is that it is like the year, I can't remember what year she thinks it is, but like way in the past, but it's not. And then she only has like this one small note written into a pocket, and she's wearing something that's almost like a burlap sack kind of thing, very plain and doesn't fit in with anything. And there are people hunting for her. That's really all I can say. It's really good. I really enjoyed it. And yeah, I do want to continue this series. So if you want me to continue it immediately, vote for Unforgotten. And go back to the video. Next I have some graphic novels. So first off, I have Space Battle Lunchtime Volume 1, Lights, Camera, Snaction, and Volume 2, A Recipe for Disaster by Natalie Rice. I have read both of those. Yay! Next up, we have Giant Days Volumes 3, 4, and 5. Okay, I have read a lot of Giant Days, but I can't remember how far in I've gotten. I think I've read all of those, but let me look. Okay, so I have actually read the first 6 in this series, so yeah, all of those I can mark as read. Yay! Next. And then the last of the graphic novels, and I've heard that this is the last in this series of graphic novels, and I'm so sad about it, is I Hate Fairyland Volume 4, Sadly Never After. I have read that. I freaking love I Hate Fairyland. It is so good. Okay, next. Okay, next up is The Magic Misfits, the second story by Neil Patrick Harris. I think that Xander and I have read the second story. Let me look. Yes, we did read that. Cool. All right. Next up. Okay, next up is the Beyonders box set by Brandon Mull. I have not read any of those, so let me go grab the first one. Okay, here we go. She's thick. But I do believe this is middle grade. It says, by reading these words, you have nominated yourself to recover the keyword. Move swiftly. The knowledge you now possess marks you for prompt execution. The first syllable is A. Okay. So this is a world without heroes. And it says an irresistible mix of adventure, humor, and magic. And that was a blurb by Rick Riordan. So I've really been loving Rick Riordan's books, so I am still interested in reading this. So if you want me to read this, vote A World Without Heroes. Okay, I moved the piles around. We have 10 in this pile and 6 in this pile. Okay, next. Okay, next up we have Every Day and Another Day by David Levithan. Okay, so I have read Every Day, but I have not read Another Day. Let me see. Yeah, Another Day is book 2. Okay, so I read Every Day many, many years ago. Probably when it first came out, even. Like 10 years ago, something like that. Yeah, so I read it a long time ago, and I do remember like the gist of it being that there's this being that wakes up in a different body every single day. Some days they're a male, some days they're a female. They just never know until and they like didn't get attached to anybody or anything like that. And then one day they wake up as this boy named Justin, and they get attached to Justin's girlfriend, and they keep wanting to see her in whatever body they come into. That's really all I remember. I didn't remember the names. I actually had to look that up. But I feel like I would probably need to read that one again. Maybe I can just read spoilers for that. So let me go grab Another Day. Yeah, after looking at this, I think just reading a spoilery recap on every day will be sufficient, because it looks as though Another Day is like from the girl's perspective of, you know, this being coming into her life every day as a different person. So yeah, if you want me to read this, vote Another Day. Next. Okay, another series that I got for Xander is Fablehaven, the complete box set by Brandon Mule. I have not read Fablehaven either. I have heard really, really good things about this series. So I am still interested in reading it. But let me go grab that. Or at least the first book. Okay, here we go. So book 1 is titled Fablehaven. Let's see, this says, for centuries, mystical creatures were gathered into a hidden refuge called Fablehaven to prevent their extinction. The sanctuary is one of the last strongholds of true magic. Enchanting? Absolutely. Exciting? You bet. Safe? Well, actually quite the opposite. Kendra and her brother Seth have no idea that their grandfather is the current caretaker of Fablehaven. Inside the gated woods, ancient laws keep order among greedy trolls, mischievous satyrs, plotting witches, spiteful imps, and jealous fairies. However, when the rules get broken, powerful forces of evil are unleashed, and Kendra and her brother must face the greatest challenge of their lives to save their family, Fablehaven, and perhaps even the world. So if you want me to read this, vote Fablehaven. Also, this very much gives me like Keeper of the Lost City vibes, just saying. All right, next up. So I just took a little break for dinner and to get Xander off to bed. And apparently I got some book mail in the mail today. So I thought I would go ahead and open that up and share it with you. It is Someday by David Levithan. That's book 3 in the Everyday series, and I haven't read that. Next. Okay, the next book I have here is Timothy of the K by Theodore Taylor. Okay, I have not read that. Do I still own that? I have to look. I know that's the companion to the K. The K is, I think, Xander's favorite book. And he like begged me forever to read it, and I did end up reading it. I gave it 5 stars. It made me cry. But Timothy of the K is, like I said, the companion. So let me go see if I still have that. Okay, so I believe I must have unhauled that one. I did enjoy the first one, but I wasn't as interested in reading this one. I think I probably just gave it to Xander. All right, next up. Okay, next up is Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Leonie Taylor. Leonie Taylor, yeah. I have read Daughter of Smoke and Bone. I can't remember if I've read the more of that series or just the first one. Okay, I don't think I've read past the first one, but I did read that one, so yay. Next. Okay, so the next 3 books here are part of the Storymaker series by Betsy Chow. We have Spelled, Wanted, and Banished. I have not read any of those, but I really want to. Let me see. I think Spelled is the first one. Yes, so let me go grab that. Okay, so these are retellings, and Spelled is Wizard of Oz. So it says, somewhere over the rainbow, all spell is about to break loose. Ooh, okay. This says, fairy tale survival rule number 32. If you find yourself at the mercy of a wicked witch, sing a romantic ballad and wait for your Prince Charming to save the day. Yeah, no thanks. Dorothea is completely princed out. Sure, being the crown princess of Emerald has its perks, like Glinda original ball gowns and Hans Christian Louis Vuitton heels, but a forced marriage to the charming, mark that, brooding Prince Cato is not what Dorothea had in mind for her enchanted future. Talk about unhappily ever after. And I'm not going to continue to read the rest, but yes, I am so excited to read this if this is one that gets voted for. So if you want me to read this, vote spelled. We are up to 19. So we're very close to having to add a third book and reading the top 3. It's possible that's gonna happen. We'll see. All right, next up. Okay, next up I have Gathering Deep by Lisa Maxwell. Okay, I have not read that. I'm not sure if that's the first book or the second book, so let me look. Okay, Gathering Deep is the second book in the Sweet Unrest series, so let me go grab the first book. Okay, here we go. This says New Orleans, a world where souls walk free and dreams become powerful portals to the past. So if you want me to read this, vote Sweet Unrest. That puts us at 20. So one more book and I'm gonna have to pick the top 3. Next. Okay, next up we have The Storm Runner by J.C. Cervantes. Haven't read The Storm Runner. Hold on. Okay, here we go. This is a Rick Riordan Presents. It is middle grade. Let's see. Zane Obispo spends every day exploring the sleepy volcano in his backyard. The Beast, as he calls it, is the one place where he can escape other kids who make fun of him because he has a limp and walks with a cane. After a twin-engine plane crashes into the Beast, a mysterious girl named Brooks shows up at Zane's doorstep, insisting that they meet at the volcano where she will reveal a terrible secret. Zane agrees, mostly because beautiful girls like her don't usually talk to him. Brooke tells him that the volcano is actually a centuries-old prison for the Maya god of death, whose destiny is directly tied to Zane's. So if you want me to read this, vote The Storm Runner. And that makes 21 books, which means I have to take the top 3 voted books. So let's see if there's any more to add to this stack. Okay, next up I have Isla and the Happily Ever After by Stephanie Perkins. I do believe that I have read that. Let me double check, but I'm pretty sure I have. Yes, I have read it. Yay. And then last but certainly not least, yes, I know, we finally come to the end. The annotated Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum. And this is the Centennial Edition. Okay, I'm just gonna pause that. I have not read the annotated version. However, I'm not going to put that in this stack to vote on. I plan on reading I've read a lot of The Wizard of Oz. I plan on reading probably the entirety of The Wizard of Oz next year. And I'm thinking I might just read the annotated version so I can read all of that extra stuff like along with it. But yeah, I'm not putting that in this stack. Okay, so that was actually the last book, so yay. I mean, for as many books that were in that stack, I think I did okay. I'm not sure what the numbers came out to be. I know there was a lot that I hadn't read, but I think there was a pretty good bit that I had actually read in this haul, so I'm not mad at it. I do have to read at least the top 3 books from these 21 books, and comment down below which ones you want me to read, for as many different ones as you like. Vote. There's no limit. You don't have to pick just 3. You can pick all the books that you want me to read, and the ones that get the most votes are the ones I will pick. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was a long one. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, click that subscribe button down below. And until next time, remember to always be completely you. Bye!